Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyatare Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, it's a bit different environment. Just came to visit a devotee. Okay, so it's an interesting chapter. Again, we can learn a lot of wonderful things from this chapter. Ramachandra Puri criticizes the Lord. So this Ramachandra Puri, he's actually the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And he actually comes to Jagannath Puri. And that time, so that time, Mahaprabhu is there in Jagannath Puri. So Ramachandra Puri is coming there. And also one more devotee, Paramananda Puri. So he was also there. So basically, Ramachandra Puri, Paramananda Puri, they are all disciples of Madhavendra Puri. So Mahaprabhu considered them, like his own spiritual master, because it is Mahaprabhu's spiritual master. Ishwara Puri's spiritual master is Madhavendra Puri. So it is a great spiritual master. And they both are god brothers of his spiritual master. So in that way, he considered them like a spiritual master. So Ramachandra Puri, naturally, he has got this quality of criticizing others. He was very envious, and he had this tendency to criticize others. So one day what happened was Jagadananda Pandit, he invited Ramachandra Puri for having prasadam. So he went to his home, and then Ramachandra Puri actually he ate very nicely the prasadam. And then he said to Jagadananda Pandit, now I will serve you. You please take a seat. So he made him sit comfortably, and then he started serving. And he made him to eat more and more and more. One more, little more you can eat, little more you can eat. And he was inspiring, inducing him to eat. And Jagadananda Pandit also thought, oh, very lovingly he's serving, I cannot reject. And then he was taking the prasadam. Then once the prasadam is finished, he washed his hands. Then Ramachandra Puri started, and he said, I heard that the associates of Mahaprabhu, they eat too much. And today I saw in my own eyes. So his nature is to induce others to eat, and then he will make a critic. So in that way, actually, he was criticizing devotees. Then what happened was earlier. So this is with Jagannatha Pandit, and then later earlier he was offending his own guru. His guru was Madhavendra Puri, and we all know Madhavendra Puri, a very exalted Vaishnava. In fact, we see in our Sampradaya, which is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So it was actually Madhavendra Puri who actually brought this mood, revealed this mood of Madhurya Rasa, worshipping of Radha and Krishna. So before that, they were mostly, if you see in the Madhva Sampradaya, it's a worship of Krishna was only prominent. But the worship of Radha and Krishna very much emphasized. And, that special mellow was revealed to everyone by Madhavendra Puri. So Madhavendra Puri, very, very exalted personality. And Ramachandra Puri, when Madhavendra Puri was in his final days, his disappearance Leela during that time, the final days, Ramachandra Puri was near to Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri, out of great separation from Krishna, he was calling out the Lord's name, and he was, saying so many, words out of separation from the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord of Mathura, when will I see you? You're not here. I've not taken shelter at your lotus feet. So, like that, with great ecstatic mood, he was speaking so many words. And he was calling out to Krishna with so much of love. And he was crying also out of separation. But Ramachandra Puri, what did he do? He was actually telling to his spiritual master, mm, that why are you crying? If you're not able to see the Lord of Mathura, then actually you can meditate on the Brahman, like a Mayavadi speak. Mayavadi, the word Mayavadi, whom we call as Mayavadis, are the people who have this impersonal conception of the Lord. They consider Krishna and Krishna Bhakti as something Maya, illusion. And if anyone is performing devotional service, they will criticize them because it's all Maya, and the Lord is impersonal. So Mayavadis are great offenders of the Lord. The Lord has a beautiful transcendental body, which Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, my Janma and Karma are Divyam. And so many great personalities glorify the beautiful form of the Lord. But this Mayavadis are Krishna Aparadis. Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadi. They are offenders because they say the Lord has no eyes, no hands, no, you know. Yes, the Lord don't have eyes like us, the material eyes, but he has transcendental eyes. He has transcendental body, which is not perishable. But the Mayavadis don't understand that. And they think only the Brahmajyoti is the highest, topmost. But beyond Brahmajyoti, where is this Jyoti coming from? It is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The effulgence which is emanating from the Lord's transcendental body is Brahmajyoti. But they only go up to the Jyoti and not the personality beyond. It's like I only accept sunshine, I don't accept sun. But the sunshine has no existence without sun. Similarly, Brahmajyoti has no existence without the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they don't have idea about this. In the sense, they don't want to understand it. So that's why, it is mentioned elsewhere also. Mayavadi Bhashya Sunilo Sarvanash. If someone hears the words of this Mayavadis, and what happens? Everything gets destroyed. All of our devotion gets destroyed. And so here, Ramachandra Puri, being a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, coming from the bona fide Sampradaya, he is talking something which is totally not, in line. And he's saying that, oh, you can't see the Supreme Lord. Why are you crying? He's actually, instructing his guru. No one should actually, the scripture says that a disciple should not instruct a spiritual master. The mood of a disciple is to be submissive. Even the enquiries which he is putting should be in a submissive mood, not in a questioning mood. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. The disciple's mood is he should inquire submissively and render service to the Guru. In that way, he will receive the knowledge, not by arrogance or not by, showing his own knowledge or by checking the Guru whether he has knowledge. That's not the proper mood of receiving knowledge. And here Ramachandra Puri is doing completely, that is unfavorable. That such a Mahabhagavat devotee like Madhavendra Puri, who is a guru, he is like, with this immature mood, he's telling, why are you crying? Why are you crying? If you can't see the Lord, you can actually meditate on the Brahman. And then, he was going on and on. So Madhavendra Puri got very upset. And then he said that, I do not want to see your face. Get out from here. because if I hear your words, then my all things will get destroyed. I don't want to see you, So he was the guru. He has displeased the guru completely. So because of that, he became a blasphemer or offender of the Vaishnavas. And also he became a speculator. So if one offends the guru, what happens? He will fall down. And the punishment is he will become a speculator, dry speculator. Dry speculator means, oh, who is God, how he looks like. And they can, Brahmajyoti, all those different, they can't even understand the who is supreme. And they become critic of all the Vaishnava. Oh, you have this fault finding nature. So one of the punishment is one become a fault finder of the Vaishnavas. That's why it's very important that one should not displease the spiritual master. And Madhavendra Puri is not an ordinary personality again. If we see who is Madhavendra Puri, I mean, we can't glorify him enough. But to just understand, if you see that Madhavendra Puri, once, he was actually circumambulating the Govardhana hill, and then he saw the Govinda Kund, and he took, a bath in the Govinda Kund, and he took rest under some trees. So that time, um, one beautiful looking, sweet looking boy came there with a pot of milk. And then he said, "Oh, my dear Madhavendra Puri, please take this milk." And Madhavendra, and he said that, Madhavendra Puri, and he said that in my village, nobody fasts. Some people eat, beg and eat food. Some take milk. And those who don't take anything, don't beg anything, for them I supply their necessities. So some of the women here, they saw that you are, you have come here, and that's why, and they have given me this milk to give it to you. So then Madhavendra Puri was very charmed, very attracted to this young boy. Just by looking at him, all his thirst and hunger disappeared. And then the boy said, "I'm getting late to milk the cow. So please have the milk. I will come back later and collect the pot." So then Madhavendra Puri took the milk and then he drank. And then he was waiting, waiting. When the sweet looking boy is going to come back again? And he is waiting and waiting, and the boy did not come. So then later he washed that pot and then he kept it, and then he slept. And in his dream, in fact, he was chanting, and then later towards the night, the end of the night, when he took rest, he saw in the dream the same boy, the same sweet looking boy. And this boy said, "Oh, my dear Madhavendra Puri, I'm actually residing in this bush here, near to your place. I am in a bush staying there, and I'm actually suffering, in a sense, all the time there is a rain and a scorching heat. All this are there. So please take me out. As soon as possible, please take me out and take me to the hilltop and construct a temple and install me and worship me." So this was the instruction. And also bathe me with a lot of cold water, because my body is very, very hot now. So please bathe me with a lot of cold water and then actually install me and worship me. So this was the instruction given by, and he said, "My name is Gopal." So then Madhavendra Puri was in great ecstasy. He got up and then he called all the villagers. "Oh, Gopal is here. Let's go and find out." And then they all went out, and then, they went near the bush, and then they were actually, taking out everything. And then they could see the beautiful form of Gopal, the deity form of Gopal. So they took Gopal's deity and they took him to the hilltop, and then lot of, Yamuna water was brought and they bathed him. Nice Abhishek ceremony was done. Very huge description is given. And then the Lord was installed, and Madhavendra Puri was worshipping him. And another time he got a dream that the Lord was saying, "Thank you very much for actually doing all this, but then, still I feel so hot. Can you please go to Jagannath Puri and get me some sandalwood paste? And then when you apply in my body, sandalwood with the camphor mix, then I will feel, relieved from this heat." Immediately, he did not think, because it's like, you just imagine those days, from Vrindavan all the way coming down to Jagannath Puri. There was no transportation. It's like walking for months and months. And he was not, and was quite old also. But Madhavendra Puri, when he received that instruction of the Lord, he was ready to serve. The mood of the pure devotees are always, they always want to serve the Lord, always looking forward to serve the Lord, because they always remember that my eternal position is servant of God. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. But the conditioned souls, we always forget that we are servant. Rather, we think ourselves as the masters. We want to enjoy. Whatever want to see. We want to see something which we can enjoy. We want to hear something which gives us enjoyment. We want to eat something which gives us enjoyment. We want to be with those kind of people who can give us enjoyment. So all the time we are seeking happiness. We are seeking enjoyment. What is there in me? Whatever I am doing, I need to get some happiness. Otherwise, I don't want to do it. So this is a mentality of a conditioned soul. But the pure devotees, everything what I am seeing, can I serve Krishna in that way? When they are hearing something, what way I can actually serve Krishna? So everything they want to serve Krishna. They want to serve Krishna and make him happy. But the conditioned soul wants to do everything to make oneself happy. That's the difference between the conditioned soul and the pure souls, the pure devotees. So Madhavendra Puri, in great ecstasy, is actually walking and walking miles, coming to Jagannath Puri. Of course, on the way to Jagannath Puri, he's stopping at Remuna, which actually in another class, actually we describe this pastime very in detail. But anyway, I would like to share something so we can understand the glories of Madhavendra Puri and how Ramachandra Puri, being a disciple, could not understand the glories of his own spiritual master, and how dare that he actually made such a comment, to a pure devotee. So when on the way, when he was coming down, he went to actually Shantipur, and then he came to Remuna, and it's a beautiful village, Remuna. And here the Gopinath deity is there. So when Madhavendra Puri saw this Gopinath deity, he was in great ecstasy, singing the glories of Gopinath. And then he asked a pujari, what do you offer to your Gopinath? What special items you offer to Gopinath? Because he wanted to know so that he can do the same item, for his Gopal. So when he asked, the pujari said, we offer so many wonderful things, for the lordships, but especially there is one item which is extraordinary and unique, and nowhere in the world they offer this item. And this item is offered in 12 earthen pots to Gopinath. And that is a special kheer, and it tastes like a nectar. So it's called Amrita Keli, because it's like a nectar, Amrita. And this is a very special kheer offered to Gopinath, and is very famous all over the world. So when the pujari said, and he was arranging all the earthen pots filled with this kheer, to offer to Gopinath, then Madhavendra Puri was thinking, which maybe, the pujari would give me some prasadam after that so I can relish it and understand how I can offer such relishable kheer for my Gopal. So then he felt, oh my God, the offering has just been done, not even done, and I have already thinking of prasadam. That means I haven't tasted it mentally. That's a great offense. So he felt very sad, and he left the temple, and then he went and sat in a marketplace, and he was chanting the holy name out of guilt. And then what happened? So this pujari offered nice this sweet kheer. And then after that, he wiped everything, and then he put Gopinath to rest. And then now he went home also, and he slept. And in the dream of the pujari, Gopinath is coming and waking him up. Come on, my dear pujari, wake up, go back to the temple. And I have actually stole and kept one pot of kheer for my dear devotee, Madhavendra Puri. You would not have seen it because I tricked you. So that's why you didn't see. But you please go immediately, and it is behind the curtain. And then immediately the pujari took a shower and ran to the temple, and he saw, behind the curtain there is a pot of kheer, kept. So he was in great ecstasy. Wow, who is this devotee? The Lord has stole a kheer for him. And then earlier the kheer was called Gopinath Kheer. But now the kheer has become Kheer Chor Gopinath. It became famous because the Lord has stolen for his devotee. And then he was looking around, calling out the name, and Madhavendra Puri came, and then he was so grateful. The Lord has, given this key, and he was, in great ecstasy, glorifying the Lord. And he tasted. Then he thought, now this word will spread everywhere, and everyone will think, oh, this is a great devotee here, and they will all come and fall at my feet. Better I leave this village and go. This is the mood of a pure devotee. They don't want to receive this name, fame, glory, and all that. They think that these are all disturbance for my devotional service. And all glories and credits should only go to the Supreme Lord. That's the mood of a pure devotee. But in the conditioned state, when we do something wonderful, naturally our mind actually craves for that fame and name, or why someone has not acknowledged me, why someone has not given credit to me. We get upset also sometime. Oh, you have glorified that devotee, but you have not glorified me. Actually, I did everything. This person did only little bit, but he got all glorification. So the conditioned state of mind, the mind goes for all craving for appreciation, acknowledgement, glories, fame, credits, all the time looking for it. What is there in for me? What honor I will get? But the pure devotees are running. Oh my God, I don't want it. I don't want it because it all belongs to Krishna. How can I enjoy something which belongs to Krishna? That's their mood. And also, Madhavendra Puri is running away. But pure devotee may run away from name and fame, but Krishna will not leave. The name and fame also chases them wherever they go. So in that way, we could see how Madhavendra Puri is so exalted that Krishna came and gave a pot of milk personally when he was fasting, and also came in the dream to take him out and worship him. Later came in the dream, can you get me Chandan? And then the Lord was so pleased with his service, and he said, my dear Madhavendra Puri, you don't have to come to Vrindavan with all the sandalwood paste. You offer this to Gopinath's body, and that is equal to applying on my body. So the Lord said that. So this is the exalted position of Madhavendra Puri, that the Lord can personally talk. Personally, the Lord renders service. The Lord derives pleasure in serving his pure devotees. And just imagine this Ramachandra Puri, such an immature mentality, is offending such exalted Vaishnava. Oh, you can't meditate, Krishna. Why are you crying? He could not understand that the exalted, loving mood of Madhavendra Puri. So what happened? He displeased such exalted Bhagavat devotee. And the result was he became a critic and a dry speculator. But whereas the example of another wonderful Vaishnava, another disciple, Ishwarapuri, who is actually Mahaprabhu's guru, Ishwarapuri, he was also there serving, Madhavendra Puri. And how did he serve? He will clean the stool and urine, because he was in the bed, Madhavendra Puri, at the end of his life. So he would do such an intimate personal service with so much of awe and reverence, with so much of love and devotion. And that pleased his guru so much that Madhavendra Puri embraced Ishvara Puri. And you know what benediction he gave? He said that you will become a lover of God. You will become a true lover of Krishna. So he became, Ishvara Puri's heart was filled when Madhavendra Puri embraced him. His heart was filled with ecstatic love for Krishna. He was dancing in great ecstasy. This is a benediction. So when we offend a guru, what happens? We fall down. We become a fault finder, dry speculator, and bhakti is gone completely. But when we please a guru, what happens? We get devotion, we get prema, and we get all the benedictions. Our heart will dance in ecstasy. Otherwise, the heart will become like a desert. No devotion for Krishna. Everything is taken away. So that's why it's so important that we do not, underestimate the position of the spiritual master. because the spiritual master is representative of the Supreme Lord. That's why we say Saksha Daritvena Samasa Sasaki. He is non-different in that sense from the Lord, because he's representative. So the respect should be given to a guru as good as God. The guru never thinks I am God. The guru always thinks I am servant of God. But the disciple should treat him as good as God because he's representative of God. Uh, so here we see how important. That's why one is not allowed to render too much intimate service for a guru. When Srila Prabhupada was there in this material world also, he would constantly change his personal secretaries, because they were doing more intimate service. Because then what happens? Familiarity breeds contempt. When we become familiar with somebody, what happens? We take the rights, and our language changes. Mm. Our language changes. Our language means our words changes. Our body language also changes. Sometimes our consciousness also changes. Oh, it's okay. I'm seeing him every day. So that is why it's very important that we should not allow this familiarity to come in our spiritual relationships, not only spiritual master, in among Vaishnavas also. Because the fault finding or critic comes only when we don't respect a devotee. And that comes because, again, familiarity, because we are seeing all the time. And then what happens? Naturally, we take it for granted. So here, that's what Ramachandra Puri is doing. So this is one of the very important point for us to see that. And then Ramachandra Puri, he stayed in Jagannath Puri for some more time, and devotees were so scared of him, because he will suddenly go to somebody's house uninvited. And there, what he will say, oh, eat more, eat more. He will, induce everyone to eat more. And then he will make a critic. Oh, you people are eating so much. Like that. And he wanted to, now what happened? He offended Vaishnavas, offended the Guru. Now he is ready to offend who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So this is what happens. When someone starts offending the Vaishnavas, then they start offending the Guru. Then that becomes offense towards the Supreme Lord himself. So then what happens here? He was trying to see what fault I can find in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he could not find any fault. So one day he was just coming there, to Mahaprabhu's residence, and he saw some ants. And then, he started, blaspheming. Oh, here I can see some ants. That means there are some sweets kept in the night yesterday. And looks like this sannyasi is eating the sweets. A person in the renounced order of life should not try to gratify his senses. And if he gratifies his senses like this, he will fall down. His, renunciation will be destroyed. So he is now actually criticizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so far heard that he is keep on criticizing many others, but now he is seeing himself getting criticized. But Mahaprabhu's mood, what he said that Mahaprabhu said that you know I am actually, you are like my spiritual master. I am an ignorant boy, you know. You can take me like your disciple. You have come to instruct me. That is my, benediction. That is a blessing for me. See the mood of Mahaprabhu. He did not say that, oh, he's Supreme Lord. He could have cut off, he could have killed him also, called his Sudarshan Chakra and punished him also. But he did not do anything because he considered Ramachandra Puri, because he's a god brother of his guru. So he gave the value as a teacher, as a master. So he said that you have come to actually protect me, and you are giving me that instruction. So I am very glad that you have given that. And then Mahaprabhu said to his personal assistant Govinda, hereafter don't give me so much prasadam. So then everyone became upset because Mahaprabhu reduced so much of his eating. And all the devotees were cursing this Ramachandra Puri. Oh my God, where did he come, this person? He's making our life very difficult. We were deriving so much joy by serving Mahaprabhu. This was the only service we could do. And now that also he's like spoiled it. And Ramachandra Puri, then what happened? Mahaprabhu reduced his eating. Then he came to know. Then again he came to Mahaprabhu's residence and he said, "Oh, I came to know that you have reduced your eating." This is dry renunciation, you see. Because a sannyasi should not, should eat the correct amount, to keep his body and soul together. Not that you give up eating or you're overeating. You should not gratify your senses. Again, he started giving advice, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu was very tolerant. And then he was actually in a way, and all the devotees were criticizing Ramachandra Puri. That time, Paramananda Puri, the another god brother of Ramachandra Puri, he came and told Mahaprabhu, "Why are you listening to him? We all know that he's a great fault finder. Just, he said, and you stopped, eating. It is giving us great displeasure. Please, kindly, take prasadam like before." But Mahaprabhu was not happy to take. And then, so Paramananda Puri and all of them were requesting. But Ramachandra Puri's business was to keep on visiting and check, especially who is eating how much and what else they are doing. And then find a fault and then make a critic. So this was his business. He was doing this. And because the mood of a critic is that they only see fault, even if a person has got an ocean of good qualities, but if one mistake they do or one thing is not good, they only zoom it. But whereas the pure devotees and the Lord, even though a person may be full of fault, when they see a little bit of good thing, then what happens? That they zoom in. This is a quality of the exalted Vaishnavas, and whereas the fault finders. And we see that the mood in Krishna also, and we see the Supreme Lord. Throughout, we see the pastime. Like Putana, we saw, all the Putana was with so much demonic tendency, but just the one tiny quality. There is no quality in Putana. What to speak? Full demonic quality only. But the only thing is she came in the mood of a mother, in the form of a mother. Okay, for that Krishna gave, motherly position. So like that, Krishna is seeing, is it one? It is like, when a teacher is correcting the papers, a very lenient teacher, when they actually correct the paper, exam papers. Oh, maybe I can put a half mark here. I can put some quarter mark here, 1 mark here, and make the person pass. Krishna's heart is, it's full of mercy, ocean of mercy. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, ocean of mercy. So one good quality, enough. Krishna sees that and then gives a benediction. But whereas this material world, especially, the personalities like Ramachandra Puri, one may do so many things, but finding the fault. So this is also, we see that the quality, it's not just Ramachandra Puri is doing. It is something for us to deeply introspect. Do we have Ramachandra Puri's mentality? We may not be all the time exhibiting it, but do we exhibit this Ramachandra Puri's mentality sometime? It is something for us to introspect. And when we see this Ramachandra Puri's mentality is coming up anytime, and what is Ramachandra Puri's mentality? Ramachandra Puri's mentality is being envious, fault finding, critiquing people, and then see what can I find something wrong in somebody and start giving advice. As if one is, because advice can be given only if if someone is giving a free advice, means he thinks that I know better than you. Yes, advice can be given, of a person who is in a particular service. They can offer the advice, like a father, a mother, a spiritual teacher, guides. So certain personalities have that service. They have been given that responsibility to advise. Again, if they think that I am capable and qualified to advise, that's not the right mood. I've been given this responsibility. And I am also not advising my own way, thinking that I am correct and you are not correct, but basically trying to help. The mood of helping someone, sharing those tips and guidance which could help the other individual. That is the spirit. The spirit is more of the mood of helping someone's life, not in the mood of I know and now I am telling you, you better follow. So that's not the right consciousness. And here we see that, through this Ramachandra Puri, we can learn a lot of things. So then Mahaprabhu is very, very kind. And then he was keep on telling to all the devotees, don't criticize him. Mm. And then the Lord was telling, he was just following, as Ramachandra Puri, because he said so, he reduced his eating and all that. And then Ramachandra Puri, he stayed for some time. And then after some time, then he left Jagannath Puri, to visit other places. Then all the devotees became so happy. Oh my God, finally this person went off, you know. And it is also not just he decided to leave, where, because of the offense he has committed, he could not stay in, Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath kicked him out, so that he could not get the association of Mahaprabhu. This is what happens when we commit offense. Then what happens? We lose the association of exalted personalities. We lose the association and service of many great devotees. So it is something very important for us to see that. So if one is rejected by the Guru, one becomes fallen. And when one is accepted by the Guru, what happens? One gets so much of benedictions from the Lord. So it is very important. And also, and a very another important point is that, just like here, Ramachandra Puri, nobody liked. They were all waiting when this Ramachandra Puri will leave this place, because he was a great disturbance for the entire community. So this is another point as a sadhakas, as practitioners, for us to see when we are in a community, when we are in an association. Am I causing disturbance or am I useful to the community? Am I contributing something useful for the benefit or for the progress of the community? Or am I becoming a hindrance, or am I causing any obstacle, or am I am I putting anybody in difficulty? So this is a question for us to ask ourselves. So as a sadhaka, if you see this Chaitanya Charitamrita, every pastime, through his own associates, Mahaprabhu is actually teaching us a lot of life lessons. And we see especially, in this particular pastime, because in our, spiritual journey, sometimes we put so much effort, not sometimes, most of the time, we actually put a lot of effort for chanting, waking up early in the morning, reading books, association devotees, eating prasadam, and wherever there is an opportunity for devotional service, we try to do all these things. So putting so much effort to go, and then what happens? We end up offending somebody, and ending up having some offensive mentality, and then we end up doing something, and then again, it's like snake and ladder. In the game snake and ladder, what happens? We put the dice, and somebody goes high, 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 high. Suddenly, somewhere one snake bites and then fall down. So in our journey of spiritual, life also, we see that our enthusiasm, we enthusiastically try to do many things, and then we feel that, or we sense that we are actually going forward. And what happens at a particular point of time? We end up, whatever scenario it could be, and then end up, committing an offense, doing something which is not appropriate. And then what happens? Sir, we come down. So this is something for us to watch out. So for that, it is reading and hearing such pastimes more and more actually helps us to understand, to be more careful. Um, it reminds us, because what happens is that just like, when we go to a class, in that particular moment we hear so many things, we actually think that I should hereafter not do all these things. Then when we step out, then what happens again? The mood's kicking in. So it's very important, especially where we are weak, when we know that certain things we are not actually, we feel a challenge, then those things we have to hear and read more and more and more. Then what happens is that we are very much reminded of those things. And then in our life, when such circumstances comes, it gives us a warning. You have done few times this mistake, you better be careful, in dealing this. So then we get that reminder, and then we can actually guard ourselves, and then in that way we can protect our devotional creeper. Otherwise what happens is that, when we do not nourish ourselves with this knowledge, or educate ourselves and introspect or reflect on these things, then every scenario, when we face such scenarios in our life, we end up failing in those scenarios. And that failure actually comes with a price, that we see that. That's why, sometimes when we are chanting, we don't feel any taste. It is like so dry. Just finish the rounds. Sometimes people are not able to finish the rounds. And sometimes one doesn't feel any enthusiasm. All of a sudden, um, I feel so dry in my services. I don't feel like hearing anything. I don't feel like associating with devotees. All this kind of, mood, mood swings comes, like not being enthusiastic, determined. All these different things comes, because then we need to understand this is like alarm. Oh, that means somewhere I've done something. Maybe somewhere some devotee I've offended, or somewhere, I have done something which is not appropriate. So immediately we pray to the Lord. I'm very sorry, my dear Lord. I don't know what I have done. And then maybe we should sit and contemplate, is there a scenario somewhere recently I spoke like this, or I behaved like this? And then we can actually, possible, we can go to that devotee and ask for forgiveness. If that is not possible, or we are not able to even detect, we can pray to the Lord and ask for forgiveness. I'll be more careful. So in that way, what happens? We can progress without much obstacles in our devotional life. So this is a very, very, very powerful. It looks simple, but it is a very powerful lesson. And because just like we say, many demons in the Krishna Leela, like Kamsa, Bakasura, Akasura, Putana, so many, all these personalities in our heart too, like maybe a little Putana, a little Agasura, little Bakasura, maybe little or big, don't know. All are there in the heart. And we are praying to Krishna, please remove these demonic pet personalities. Similarly, these personalities whom we are reading now, Ramachandra Puri, this Ramachandra Puri mentality is there or not, is something deeply to see, to introspect. So then we don't want that, because you see, all the devotees hated this Ramachandra Puri. Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu was also not happy with him. Mahadevendra Puri was not happy with him. So it is something for us as a sadhaka to see, should I become that person or that devotee whom people hate? They may not say it out. Nowadays, sometimes devotees, they like or don't like, they don't say it out. So this is something for us to deeply feel. So should I become that devotee whom people don't like? Devotees don't like. Even the spiritual master is not happy. And Krishna don't want to see that face. Should I become that person? No, no, I don't want to be that person. So we want to be someone, following in the footsteps of a disciple, following in the footsteps of Ishvara Puri, to develop that mood of service, submission, love, gratitude, devotion, to not only to the spiritual master, but to all the devotees. Then, when their hearts feel happy with us, naturally we get all blessings. This is the secret of getting blessings. The secret is we should somehow make the heart of the Vaishnavas pleased, and the Guru's heart somehow make them happy. And if, in their heart, if they feel happy about us, that's it. That's a blessing. The blessing comes like that. We should just make them happy. So that is what our mood should be. So which is something which we want to work on, make an effort. We will fail because we are conditioned souls, and but we don't want to give it up. We want, if we want to develop love for Krishna, that only is given to Ishwarapuri, a personality like Ishwarapuri, not to Ramachandrapuri. So if we develop the attitude like Ishwarapuri, then we will also get love of God. But if our mentality is something like that of Ramachandrapuri, then the hope is not there. So that means we want to, from a Ramachandrapuri's mentality, we want to, fine tune our consciousness or purify our consciousness to that, in like similar to Ishwarapuri. Because our path is always not imitating, following the footsteps of the predecessor acharyas, Mahajana Ena Gata Sapanta, following the footsteps of the Mahajanas. So, so if you want to be a good disciple, or want to be a devotee who is pleasing, then we should follow the footsteps of Ishwarapuri and not Ramachandrapuri. So this is by our sadhana, and constantly. So one of the very powerful ways we can actually change our consciousness is we need to be more aware. We need to read this kind of subject more and more and more and more, hear more and more and more, discuss more and more and more, and then make an effort, conscious effort, to upgrade our sadhana. And then we see that this mentality is slowly going away, and we are able to develop those nice, devotional attitude all the time. So that is something which we can pray for, and make an effort, a conscious effort. So one of the action point is that to hear and read more on the subjects like this, especially those subjects which will help us to purify our tendencies, our conditioned tendencies. Then only we realize, oh my God, oh, we have this. We need constant reminders. And of course, the holy name is a powerful agent to purify. So when we hear this, when we chant the holy name, we will beg to Krishna. Our chanting will naturally become prayerful. Now we are making an artificial effort. Oh, how prayerful, Krishna, Krishna, please engage. It's actually not prayer. It is no emotion there. It's like an artificial effort to make it prayerful. But when we read such kind of, that's why reading Prabhupada emphasized it, because it complements. When we read books, Srila Prabhupada books every day consistently, naturally we can chant in a prayerful mood, because we know these anarthas are standing there. Then when we chant, we beg Krishna, so sorry I have this envious nature. I have this fault-finding nature. I am really terrible inside, but I'm outside. I look like a devotee. I'm so sorry, my dear Lord. Please purify me. I want to develop this, heart which is, want a heart which is filled with love, devotion, compassion, and gratitude. Not all these things. Please remove this. Then we will naturally beg. Our chanting will become like, as Srila Prabhupada mentions, our chanting should be like a child begging, a child crying for his mother. Then naturally, when we educate ourselves reading Srila Prabhupada's books, then naturally the begging, the moment we pick up the bead bag, we will only cry. Cry. We may not be now crying for Krishna, but we will cry, Krishna, I have this anarthas. Please, please, these anarthas are killing me. Please. So then when we cry for these anarthas to go, then naturally when Krishna sees that, he will take away these anarthas, and one day we will be able to cry for Krishna. But if we are not crying to Krishna for this anarthas to go, it it is almost impossible to cry to get love for Krishna. It's not possible. So this is something which we all want to pray. And then we want to read Srila Prabhupada's books consistently. Radhashtami is coming now. Just a day left. Wednesday is Radhashtami, and Srimati Radharani is a mercy personified. Mercy personified. It's like a mother. Even in the material world, we see a mother is naturally more compassionate than a father. And then Radharani being the supreme mother, her heart is so big, magnanimous. So we can cry to her. And also the spiritual master is the, is also, it is mentioned that is an intimate associate of Srimati Radharani, you know. So he's a representative of Balaram and he's an intimate associate of Srimati Radharani. So that is a day we can pray to Srimati Radharani and to the spiritual master, to the entire Guru Parampara. Please, kindly bless me that I can stick to this process given by Srila Prabhupada. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, wake up in the morning, chant your 16 rounds, read books. He has given this formula. Then when we strictly do it, we see that all this Ramachandra Puri's, Damodar Pandit mentality, all these different mentalities, all that will go from our heart. And then one day we will be able to cry for Krishna, because now we are crying for all our problems. Oh, this problem, that problem, this is stressing me, that person is stressing me, this object is stressing me. This crying is all for material things. And this is what we have been doing for birth after birth, crying for the material problems. But this birth is human birth. Now we have to wake up. Enough of crying for the material things. I should cry for Krishna. So for that mentality to, for that level to come, we need to really beg the mercy of the spiritual master and all the predecessor Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, that we can follow. Prabhupada has given everything black and white, simple formula, but that is so difficult. So we want Prabhupada's mercy that day. We want our spiritual master's mercy. We want Srimati Radharani to bless us. So that from Radhashtami, I am going to do again. Many times we take vows, we fail. We take vows, we fail. We take vows, fail. No problem. As long as we are ready to fight. We may fall down many times, but if we have the determination to fight again and again till I make it, I will fight. If we have the spirit, Krishna will be very happy with us. That's it. No, not giving up spirit. Never giving up spirit. So this spirit we want. Prabhupada had that spirit and all his disciples have the spirit. And we being the grand disciples, we want to cultivate the spirit. Never give up. We will fight. We will fight this anarthas with the mercy of the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada and the mercy of Radha and Krishna. We will one day, sure, we will succeed in this endeavor and get that greatest wealth of love for Krishna. So Radhashtami is a perfect day to pray for. So that day we all want to get up early in the morning, the formula what Srila Prabhupada has given. Get up for Mangalarati, do Mangalarati, chant our 16 rounds. Every single day we want to read Srila Prabhupada books without fail. At least 30 minutes. Without fail. It will make a big difference. Guaranteed. If we read every single day, no holiday. No holiday. If we read even 1 month every single day, 30 minutes reading minimum, it will make a big change in our quality of japa, quality of our chanting. And if we can make a difference in the quality of our chanting, certainly we make a difference in the quality of our consciousness. It all are interlinked. And all this to happen, we should always be in the association of devotees. So these are all very vital. Each one complements each other. So let's pray and make a vow to every single day read Srila Prabhupada books without fail. Make our japa quality so that we can make a difference. We can kick out all this unwanted things in our heart. And then Go forward and pray for something wonderful. What I can do for Guru, what I can do for Srila Prabhupada, what I can do for Radha and Krishna, what would be pleasing for them. Let our heart be filled with these thoughts, not the other ones. We want to raise up to that standard, to think what we can do to please them. Yeah, so I'll stop here. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Over to Ranjani, my Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Thank you so much, Mataji, for amazing and it's like immunity booster for us, all of us, for Radha Ashtami. And lot of points for the community member to learn, all of us, Mataji. So thank you so much for this for the time.
Thank you.
Wonderful session. I'll share my screen. So yeah, as Mataji has gone through a lot of points which is applicable for everyone and a lot of points which we deal with the devotees in community in the services and lot of festival organizing Rath Yatra and so many things. So I would request if anyone would like to share any points from the today's class or any challenge or Radhastami, Mataji has mentioned what should be doing and what can be meditated for the upcoming festival. So anything they want to share, I can wait for some 10-20 seconds and I can read it out for the pleasure of all the Vaishnavas available over here. And then we'll go further for the announcement. Uh, So maybe I'll please write it down, and I will definitely happy to read your thoughts. Parallelly, I'll just go through some of the announcements, and then I'll come back here. So some of the highlights from last week. So there was a wonderful festival, Janmashtami festival happened yesterday on South and Basildon BB, and these are some pictures which I took. It was so many pictures were there, and so these are some photos from the studies program, and it was I think around 200 adults and like around 100 teens and kids who participated. So it was so beautiful evening program was there. So thank you all the devotees who did a lot of services and coming forward for celebrating this Janmashtami festival. Yeah, so another is announcement for the week is like new Gita Gyan batches starting from 23rd of September, and I have got the flyer and these are the details. So I would request if your known friends, relatives in office, anyone would love to understand the Bhagavad Gita and attain this, please forward this flyer and ask them to register as soon as possible. Yeah, and the third one is like I think Mataji has uh, given some inputs last week about the Bhadra Purnima, so that will be coming on Tuesday, I think. So after Ekadashi, the Bhadra Purnima campaign will be coming next week, I think Tuesday, something like that. So still we have opportunity to contribute as a campaign and donate Bhagavatam. If we don't have, at least we can have one set of Bhagavatam at our house. So these are some details. And yeah, this is daily online morning japa reminder for all the devotees. As Mataji mentioned, morning like getting up early morning, doing the japa, reading the book. So Radhashtami is approaching, so we can start tomorrow. Uh, so that's a good opportunity to get sangha with the devotees and do chanting. Yeah, and the some of the announcement for the week is like 11th is appearance of Srimati Radharani. So the most awaited festival for entire month, or like entire year. One of the topmost devotee of Lord Krishna. So this is the some of the detailed sorry breakup for the festival which is happening in Soho. So I will say I think our supplier is already there in the announcement group, so you can go through. 14th is a Parshva Ekadasi, and all the time devotee have confusion between the Vaman Dwadasi and this Ekadashi. So just highlight here to that Parvasha Ekadasi is there on 14th of September, and we have fasting till noon for Varaha Dwadasi. Okay, and then 15th we have Sriman appearance of Vaman Dev or Dwadashi and appearance of Srila Jiva Goswami. So Vaman Dwadasi we are celebrating on 15th. And then 16th, we have appearance of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So again, in this day, we are celebrating as a fasting till noon. So these are some of the announcement for the week, and I'll come back if any devotee have put any point and take away. Uh, so His Grace Mahanand Brijesh Prabhu has mentioned, like, trying to avoid praising from others devotees, only praise the Supreme Lord. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for putting this wonderful point over here. So these are some announcements from my side. Mataji, you want to add anything, Mataji, which I have missed anything?
Uh, Ujjwala Mataji has written something.
Yeah, Mataji, sorry. Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji, for giving wonderful tip of begging mercy from Srimati Radharani and not to afraid of failing but developing determination to serve is association of devotees. So beautiful point. Ujjwala Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, devotees. And Prasanna Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna, such a wonderful class by Mataji, and underscoring the importance of introspection in bhakti. Also, it was inspiring to hear Mataji talk about the instruction given by Srila Prabhupada and how to follow it religiously to overcome anarthas. Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prasanna Prabhu, for brilliant point sharing with all the community members. Thank you, Prabhu.
So yeah, so it's very nice. We look forward for all the devotees to come for Radhashtami. It's a flower outfit the lordships will be wearing. Once in a year, we see the special flower outfits, and also in the morning. I think in the morning and also in the evening, the shoes, Radharani's shoe, blessings we will get only on the special days. So in the special day, so please, if possible, in the morning or in the evening, you can come and then take the blessing. I was just hearing that someone was saying, what are the things which are pleasing to Srimati Radharani? Is that the one of the things which I heard was, of course, devotees would have known RB is something very dear to Srimati Radharani. We can make some preparations with RB, and Radharani likes plum chutney. So this is something which we can make. And apart from that, it is a day when we do something which is Krishna's, because Radharani will be very happy when we call out Krishna's name, or when we do something which is dear to Krishna. And Krishna also says in the Gita, the one who shares my knowledge, preaches his knowledge, is very dear to me. So there is a Harinam, in the temple, also organized around 3 o'clock or 3:30, I guess. So devotees who are available on the day to come for Radhashmi, we can join for the Harinam. That means on the streets we are chanting the holy name, and so many people will be hearing the holy name, and that will make Srimati Radharani very happy. If we can talk about Krishna for other devotees, bring many more people, and for darshan of Radha Landaneshwara, and when Radharani sees that you have brought so many people for darshan, then she will be very, very pleased. Krishna will be pleased you have brought them for Radharani's appearance day, and Radharani will be pleased because they are getting the mercy of Krishna. So we want to see what are the things which will be very pleasing to Radharani, and reading Srimad Bhagavatam in all the scriptures, reading, because this is also a day which is pleasing to the spiritual master, because spiritual master, as we said, is a intimate associate. So Prabhupada will be very pleased when we follow morning program, so at least Radhashmi day, when we start praying for doing, if we are not doing before, or if you are inconsistent, and we pray and then we try to continue from there, whatever Srila Prabhupada is given, reading, hearing, morning Mangal Arati, chanting and all that. That is very pleasing. If you can do book distribution, give somebody to take Srimad Bhagavatam. Wow, that's very amazing. So these are the various type of things we can think, how I can make Radharani happy on the Radhashmi day. What are the different things I can do which will make Radharani happy, Srila Prabhupada happy? So in that way, each one of us can see what we can do on the day. And also, please come in the temple to see the beautiful flower outfit of Shri Radha Landaneshwara. And, that would be really nice. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Ranjani Mai Prabhu. I'm not at home, so I'm not in a position to show the darshan of Lord Jagannath. I'm outside. Yeah. So you're sharing something, Prabhu?
No, they just put this Radhastri flyer in the
Oh, okay, okay,
chat.
okay, okay. So it'll be very nice. We look forward to see you all on the Radhashmi day. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We also seek all your blessings and prayers, so that we can also become serious and sincere in devotional service with a proper mood of service which is pleasing to Radharani. And just one last thing, Radha, it's like aparada. The one who does aparad will displease Radharani. So this is something which we want to keep in mind. We don't want to displease Srimati Radharani. So that means we have to be very cautious of committing aparad. So we pray to the Lord that that those mentalities are all erased and disappeared, and we want to serve more and more in a way which is pleasing to Guru, Krishna, and Vaishnavas. In a way, they are pleased. We want to eternally serve them and please them by our service. So that's a prayer. Thank you so much, and look forward to see you all on Radhashmi Day. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You are
Thank
out, still you took out time and
Thank
give
you.
us nice class here. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
April.
Mataji.
Prabhupada ki
Hare
jai.
Thank you,
Ananta Koti
Prabhupada.
Vaishnava.
Thank you,
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.